Hello, I'm audible.
Yeah.
Yes.
You are in the organizing team, right? No one is from outside right now. Hello,
We can't hear.
you can't hear me?
No, I can hear you. The Shruti, I can't hear.
Oh, okay.
Shruta.
No, I was not speaking.
Okay.
You're from the organizing committee or hello, Shweta.
I am in the organizing committee.
Okay. So Bhargav, Sushmita, and Ronak, they are also from organizing committee, right?
Yes.
And so now in the registration, what is the major major side? Is it third years or second years?
It was second years mostly and third years also. It was the second highest.
Okay.
Deepak, something happened to your voice.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Hello guys, am I audible?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so live stream has been started, and one of the member can go to YouTube live, the Sode live, the link which has been shared. Whether the streaming is happening and my whoever is speaking here, is that audible there or not? Can anyone check that?
I'll go and check.
Yeah, just check it. Okay, so everyone has, I think so, checked their mic system and everything, right? Um,
Yeah.
right. Okay. Uh, okay. Yes. So, Deepak, your team has been joining, right? Yeah.
Once you finish you are speaking, you just go in and I think it was a
I think we can start the session.
Okay, so Shruta, you can start the session. Let the participants will join.
Okay. So, good afternoon, one and all. It gives me immense pleasure to be the moderator for today's peer learning webinar, Hackopedia. I, Shruta from second year CSE, would like to extend a warm welcome to all of you. We have also arranged for YouTube Live parallelly. So if any of your friends aren't able to join through Google Meet, they can attend through YouTube Live. Make sure you are watching the live stream through the YouTube app because you wouldn't be able to comment if you're watching it through your browser. You can click on the college logo and you'll be redirected to YouTube if you're using your browser. Uh, to begin this program, we are pleased to have Ronak from 4th year CSE to deliver the welcome address.
Thank you, Shruta. Uh, good afternoon to all. Good afternoon to all dignitaries, guests, and delegates with the, great joy and immense exultation. I, Ronak Chaudhary, IST Student Chapter Office Barrier from CSE Department, feel privileged to extend my warm welcome to all present here for the event Hackopedia, everything you need to know about Hackathon. I would like to humbly welcome our Principal Sir Dr. Tirumaleshwar Bhatt and our Vice Principal Sir Dr. Ganesh Ethad. In addition, I cordially like to welcome respected deans of our college. I would also like to welcome HODs of respective departments, followed by the welcome of all the dignitaries. I feel privileged to welcome faculties of all respective departments to our event. And I would like to take an opportunity to introduce the guest speaker for our today's event, Team X to Infinity. And finally, I would like to welcome all our participants who have joined via Google Meet and also on the YouTube Live to this peer learning webinar. I hope all the participants get the maximum benefits out from the event. Welcome all.
Thank you, Ronak. Now I call upon Sushmita from 3rd year CSE to introduce today's speakers.
Good afternoon, everyone present here. Welcome to Hackopedia, everything you need to know about Hackathon. Today, I'm here to introduce the speakers of today's section. We are joined by X to Infinity team and their team members is as follows. Deepak Nayak, Chetan Pujari, Hari Krishna from 7th Sem A section, CSE branch. Ullas Kundar, Saurabh Shetty, 7th Sem B section, CSE branch. Abhijit Shregar from 7th Sem Civil branch. Hitesh from 5th Sem A section, CSE branch. Suraj Shetty, Princeton, and Shamit Joshi, 5th Sem B section from CSE branch. I would also like to throw some light on their achievements, and their achievements are Dramathon winners, that is the South Indian's biggest hackathon, ISRO hackathon winners, Hack to Burfest in association with Digital Ocean, Mozilla GitHub, and Hackopedia runners, and they also won 25 plus national and state level competitions in robotics, IoTs, and hackathons. Thank you.
Thank you, Sushmita. Now I'd like to hand over the session to Deepak and his team. Over to you, Deepak.
Okay. Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So my name is Deepak Nayak and I'm from Team X to Infinity. Now we have been participating in competitions from past 3 years. So these 3 years we have learned a lot of stuff, but what we couldn't do was we couldn't tell our juniors what we have learned. So that is why this session is really important for us, because we'll be sharing our knowledge, what and all we have learned in the past 3 years. So I have prepared a basic presentation using which I'll be explaining you what all our knowledge regarding hackathons, and not only hackathons, but all other competitions. So I'll be sharing my screen now. Give me a minute. Yes, hello. So is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yes, nice.
Yes.
So right now we have 70 people over here, and it is a great number of participants here, because in hackathons, getting this number, that this much amount of people are interested in this is really good news. Now, what is this session and what we are going to talk about is basically how hackathon is important. Being from engineering background, this hackathon does not only focus on computer science, but it focuses on all the branches. So either hardware or software. And what we are going to do in today's session is we'll okay. So today's agenda is basically what is hackathon, tips for hackathons, tools for hackathons, and question and answers. So total, we have a time of around 1.5 hours, and we'll be splitting this accordingly, because here you all of you might not have a lot of questions, not only regarding hackathons but also development side. That is why we have kept majority of the webinar on question and answers. First of all, what is hackathon? So hackathon, this particular word, when we first came across in first year, so this was really confusing for us, because hacking, what they show in TVs, is just going into someone's computer and trying to break into it. But in actual scenario, it is not just that. It is a lot more than it. So in an hackathon, we try to use technology to hack into real world problem to solve them better. Now, what happens in a hackathon is they give us one problem statement, and this problem statement is something that is related to the current world scenario, such as now corruption, or even lack of proper technology for online education. So anything like this, they'll be giving us, and within the time duration. So this time duration will be somewhere between 24 to 72 hours, and in this time duration, we will have to develop a product, and this product should be developed from scratch. Now, in first year, we first participated in a hackathon in Shimoga. So there, the hackathon topic was really simple, and it was called as calculator. So the topic of the hackathon was calculator. So what we decided is, we decided to make a application, mobile application, with two input fields, which is two numbers you have to give, and use some plus or minus, which will give the result. But later, what we understood by seeing others' project is that calculator is not just about adding or subtracting. There is a lot more than that, because now, such as scientific calculators, or calculators to do some very advanced calculations. So now hackathons, that what you have to look forward is to try to think outside the box. So that is the main aim of the hackathon, is for the students to make sure that they are not inside the box, but their brain should be expanded. So that is what the main aim of the hackathon is. So before starting the session, what I'll be needing is, I'll be giving you a really small task, that is team check-in. So we always do this, not only in webinars, but we always do this whenever we have team meetings. Here, what you have to do is quickly open your Google, in your Google Meet, open your chat box. And in your chat box, all you have to do is send an emoji which you like the most, what you're feeling right now. So what does this do is, we know that there are people here interested in this. So open your chat box, put some random emoji, whichever you like. And yeah. Yes, just fill in the chat box because what we need is we don't want this to be a monotonous way of telling me what an hackathon is. Because in a hackathon, you will be needing a lot of interaction. So when the think of me as a your own classmate because I'm just 1 or 2 years elder than you. So if you have any kind of doubt or any questions, even in between, you can just drop it in the chat box or even ask over you. Um, I'll be answering those at the right time. Now, mainly in this hackathon, why we went, the initial movement, we were really into robotics in the beginning. We were not into hackathons. But whenever we used to go to any competition in robotics, we used to see a group of people sitting there and they used to take the laptop and sit there in the table for whole day. So we used to we used to do our own project side by, and they used to sit there. At night we used to go to sleep, and morning if we come back, we still see them in the same spot. And it was really eager to know that what these guys are doing because sitting in one place and coding something is not as simple as it looks because 24 hours is a lot of time to spend. Yeah. Now, since everyone is here, I think around 77, but I don't think I got around 77 messages, but it's okay. So let's quickly move on to the next one. So here in this types of hackathons, we have majorly three type of hackathons. That is hardware, software, and then the third one is hardware and software hackathon. Now, I think by seeing a lot of your names here, there are people from EC, there are people from mechanical also. Now, what this means is that computer science can go for software hackathon. Now, this is not mandatory, but this will be really good for your particular field. And EC and mechanical and civil can go for hardware hackathon. So now what happens over here is the total logic, the entire logic will be the same. They'll be giving you a problem statement. You will have to develop a technology within 24 hours. But in hardware hackathon, you will have to develop a hardware technology, which means you will have to develop some demo. So before moving further, is my voice audible?
Yes.
Yes, yes. Okay, not a problem. Now, in software hackathon, what happens is that you will be given 24 hours to develop a software. So in software, don't be limited to Android application or iOS application. You can develop any kind of software. Now, if you can even develop a Python program for machine learning or even a website, web app. Now, hardware and software hackathon. Here, what happens is you will have a combined group. Now, there will be one cash prize for both hardware and software hackathon. Now, for most of the time, it will be split. But whenever they are together, make sure that if in case you're joining software side, your software is much better than the hardware one, because judges will give more importance for the hardware project than the software project. So this is how it works. So now let's go on to the next slide. That is pre-hackathon preparation. So now, most of you, I think I've got a lot of questions from you guys. That is, how do I get into an hackathon, and what are the preparations required for an hackathon? First and the most important thing is pick a team. Now, you cannot build a team within 1 or 2 days. So whoever my team members are right now, we used to compete against each other in our first year. So whichever competitions we used to go, we used to be opponents. So we were not in the same team. So we had a different team. Now, for your initial, now since you're in second or third year, just make a team, just your friends. Then you see how the vibe is over there, the atmosphere. Now, once you see that that's a good team, you can keep continuing it and growing it. Now, a team such that people are not having the same mentality. So one thing that's necessary for an hackathon is you need to see a project some problems from different perspectives. If you all see from the same direction, the judges might be seeing it from the other direction. That is when you lose it completely. They will completely reject your project. Now, that is what I'm telling. Pick a team, a proper team where the mentality is everyone sees from a different kind of perspective. And next one is research about the hackathon team. Now, in hackathon, they most of the hackathons they will be giving you some kind of theme. Now, suppose if it is or like for example, solid waste management, or even a smart city, or things, or even some this community apps. Now, when they give the theme, make sure you get a full background view of it. So before going into the hackathon, get a background view of what and all are the current affairs regarding the theme. Now, why I'm telling this is in hackathon, how this hackathon theme works is during hackathon, they'll be giving you a problem statement. But this problem statement will be based on the theme which they have given you around 1 week back. Now, this theme will be a generalized theme, and the problem statement will be a specific one. Now, when they give you a theme, just open any articles, go to Google and search for the theme, and make a list of all the of current affairs regarding that particular topic. Then install IDEs and frameworks. Yes, now in case you're participating in for software hackathon, make sure you know what your tools are. Suppose you're going for an software hackathon and you're planning to develop an Android application. So make sure you have a proper application that is Android Studio, or even if you are using any other IDEs, you have it ready. Then do a mini hackathon. So once you're getting your team ready, right? You must do a mini hackathon. So this mini hackathon must consist of around 12 to 14 hours. You can take morning 9 o'clock to night 9 o'clock. You get your own problem statement over there. So this problem statement, what you have to try to develop within 12 hours. This is when you know what are the strength and weaknesses of your team. Now, this mini hackathon is really important because you will know how to manage your time. And now another one is that you need to have proper tools and technologies. So this particular point, that is tools and technologies for an hackathon, I'll be explaining in later slides. So here, then another point is have an inside map. Now, in any organizing, in any competition, you can see there are 4 to 5 numbers. That is organizer number. What we always do is we always call the first number, you see. But never do that mistake because the first number, you can never be close to him because he'll be really busy. Call the last number. That is in case if there are 3 or 4 people, call the third or the fourth guy. That is when he'll be free because he'll be not having any calls. You can have a you can have really good contact with him. So in case of any problems during the hackathon, you can immediately call him and we will be sure that he'll be free at that particular time. And any doubts or any problems, you can just solve it with them. This point is really important. And next one is register and activate this console. This part is suppose you're using any APIs such as Google Cloud Console or any particular APIs. Make sure you have given your credit in case if they ask for a credit card information or your debit card information. Make sure you have given it and kept the APIs ready. So this APIs and other things, I'll be getting to it later on. But here you make sure all of these are ready. Then pack your stuff. So this stuff's in the sense, make sure you take each and every part, that is your laptops, your charging cables, and also important thing is make sure you have an extension cord while going to an hackathon. Because you will be, most of the time what they'll be doing is they'll be giving you one socket and you will have to just you'll be in a queue where you will have to charge your laptop, then charge your teammate's laptop. Make sure you always have an extension cord whenever you're going to an hackathon. This will be really helpful because you can keep your laptops fully charged. Now get good rest. So this is what this means is your not only your laptop should be fully charged, even you should be fully charged. Because now before the day of the hackathon, take a good night's sleep. So around 10 to 12 hours you sleep that day. And what this does is it will keep you active throughout the hackathon. Now these are pre-hackathon preparations. Now what we have done is in this panel, we have brought together a few other people. So, like Hari Krishna, he has participated in Smart India Hackathon. They had even qualified to the finals. So, the reason why we have invited others also is because you don't see hackathons from one perspective. You see hackathons from a different team's perspective. This is when you get a lot of more knowledge. At the end of the session, we'll have a panel discussion where we'll be discussing on what our experiences were. Yes, so all this were pre-hackathon preparations. Now, going on to the next slide, that is what happened now. Let's imagine that we are in an hackathon. We have entered an hackathon, and this is the problem statement they have given us. That is, develop a mobile application to make Udupi a smart city. So this particular problem statement was given to us on a Dreamathon that was in 2019. This problem statement was, instead of Udupi, they had given the location as Mangalore. Here we had to develop an application which would solve many problems faced by Mangaloreans. Now, this is a group task, which means we all 78 people over here, we are a team, and we are going to put all the problems in one sheet. So now what I need is I need people to give some inputs. So you can either type in the chat box or unmute, and you can tell what are the problems faced by people in Udupi. Now, considering that local place, now don't go general, keep it local. Now, suppose I'll give you one problem statement. One of the problem is that now people don't know where to. If you suppose you see a place filled with trash, and you need that place to be cleaned. Now, normal people in Udupi, they don't know how do you get it clean, because the idea is simple. You need to call the CMC, that is municipality, and you need to tell them, give them the location, take the photograph, and you need to send it through WhatsApp. But what if you automate this process? So automation in the sense, take a photo of the garbage and directly with the click of a button, it will be sent to a respective official with the location automatically tagged to it. So this is one of the problem statement. One of the solutions. Now I need more problems from you guys. So what and all problems you're going to face day to day, and which what and all mobile applications you can develop from this. So you can just drop everything in the chat box. So, yeah. Yes. Now, remember one thing. This is play in hackathon. Initial part is where you get your ideas together. No matter if it is right one or the wrong one, but you have to pool your ideas. Now, you don't just go to an hackathon with a perfectly good idea and then you execute it. No, you pool together all your ideas. So now consider that you are in an hackathon and you have been given the statement. You type all your inputs in this chat box. So what and all problems you're facing, and if you can, then also put the solution for it. Okay, let me give you a quick start on this. That is, first one is the photo for garbage cleaning. So this is the first one. Now type anything. Don't worry. So even if you're wrong, it's not a problem. We are simply putting together ideas. So imagine you need to make a mobile application for Udupi, and what and all features you're going to implement in it. Yes, so map/location. This is for which one? Parking spots. Yeah, that's a really good one. Parking spots. Now the problem with parking spots, I mean, what we are facing, I think what you mean is, there are a lot of irregular parkings which has been done, because of which there are which there is a huge traffic. Now, if users can see where the parking spots are empty, you can just park your car over there. Now, city bus scheduled for interior places. Yeah, very good. Now, city bus. Mm, so, in an hackathon, try to get around 10 features like this. Any hackathon you go, around 10 features you need. So, first one is garbage problem. Second one is the parking spots. Third one is city bus schedule. Think of all the features you can put in the mobile app. And yeah, you can also unmute and speak because it will be really helpful for us if we interact. Yes, potholes cleaning, nice. Now, cleaning, let me put it as potholes fixing. Are you talking about manhole? Okay, or nothing. Okay, pothole fixing. Places of water scarcity during summer, yes. Mm, yep, automatic electric bill generation. This is also really good. Now, let's stop here. I think we got around 6 points. So within 5 minutes right now, we got 6 points. This is very good. In an hackathon, now you are going to get 24 hours. Before participating, try to split it out. Now, split it out in the sense your initial idea, your planning of ideas should be around 2 hours. So if you have the basic foundation ready, then you can easily go ahead. Now, without having any particular idea, don't just go into the don't just start coding. Just have some ideas. Now, see, within 5 minutes, we got 6 problems, and during hackathon, try to keep around 10 to 15 problems. Then you try to cut out those which are low ones and keep the high ones in the top 10. Then you start developing. Now, in hackathons, let's go next. Yes. So do's and don'ts during hackathons. So in hackathons, you are going to get only 24 hours. In 24 hours, your coding, you should not be constrained by your, you should be only constrained by the time limit, nothing else. Now, what I mean by constrained by time limit is such that now, if you're planning for a feature and you don't know how to develop the feature, so that is a really big problem. All these problems will be solved if you have enough practice pre-hackathons. So always make sure that you'll be only constrained by the time limit. Now, if you have an idea in mind, make sure that you know how to execute it. So the first point, what we are focusing is set small and achievable goals. So small and achievable goals in the sense, now don't just go for the big feature. Split the feature into several parts. Now, such as let's go with the city bus schedule. So city bus schedule itself is a big topic. What you can do is you can split the topics into subgroups and then go ahead. Now you can make sure that this particular topic you're going to finish it within 20 to 30 minutes. That is what makes you a good coder in hackathon. So don't focus on a topic and sit for long amounts of time. We have seen people who stick with one feature. They're not going to get it right, but they sit throughout the hackathon with that one particular feature. And at the end of the day, they don't have the application with them. Second one is choose the most effective route, then the most impressive. So now when you start the hackathon, what happens is your main, right, when you go in first, then your main intention is to impress the judges during the presentation. But if you choose something which is really impressive, but the problem is if you have something really impressive, the difficulty level of it will also increase. So make sure that you can complete this particular whatever you have selected, you can complete it within a particular amount of time. So you don't want an application that is not running in your demo. So if you know that you can do this within 24 hours, then go for it, or else don't go for it. Yes. Now try to balance your teammates. Now suppose you have now considering it is team of four, split it into split your whole work evenly. Now, if you're what most of the thing people think is that all four people should know how to develop, how to code. In our own team, we had Abhijit from civil engineer. So he's from civil, and when we used to go to hackathons, we used to get a lot of questions like, "How is he helping us?" Because hackathons are meant for coding. How is he helping us? So basic idea is that hackathons are not meant for coding. So if you think that hackathon is all about coding, no, it is about how you take the problem statement and how you get the solution out of it. Now, getting the solution is really tricky because there are around 50 other teams over there who are thinking like you. So you need people from all other engineering field. So one example I'll be giving you. During ISRO hackathon, we had a problem where they'll be giving us some set of latitudes, and we were asked to find the exact location. So what does this mean is that from satellite, suppose we all use Google Maps. So in Google Maps, the data from the satellite is not accurate. It will be having some plus or minus. Same thing from ISRO, they had their own chip that is Navic. So there the data was not accurate. You're using that inaccurate data, we need to somehow predict where the actual location of the user is. So this particular method, none of us from computer science engineering field knew it. So first, it was a 36-hour hackathon. First 20, I think around 12 to 20 hours, we were finding how to get it right. Now, most of them in their team, they had everyone from computer science or electronics. But Abhijit, they had a subject where they were doing this, which means using set of coordinates, they used to somehow predict where the actual coordinate is, where the user is. So using that algorithm, we could somehow reduce the whole radius into one point. So that is why I told you earlier in this webinar that have in your team, make sure there are people from different fields, not only from one domain. Fourth one is ask for help. So initially when we went we were in hackathon, I had told you the topic was calculator, but the problem is we didn't even know how to code. So we had used an software called MIT App Inventor. This MIT App Inventor is, you don't need any coding knowledge for this. You can simply drag and drop things and you can get an application ready. So what we had done is we had somehow had entered the hackathon, and everyone else was using Android Studio. So what we were trying to communicate with other people now. So we have not faculties, people who have come there have really good knowledge on latest technologies. So what we do is we ask them what are the technologies they use, how they have learned it. So now using that particular using this method, what we had done is we have learned a lot of new stuff. Now, another one is schedule regular check-ins to make sure everyone is making progress and feeling okay. Okay. Anyone experiencing audio issues? No, it's clear. Okay. Yeah.
No.
Not a problem. Then now let's say schedule regular check-ins. What does this mean is now you will be active for around 10 hours of hackathon. After that, you will be really low. Your energy will be very low. Not only yours, your whole team. That is why what we used to do is we used to simply roam around. So roam around in the sense we used to, after having one particular feature done, we used to go and we used to talk. We used to go to the cafeteria. Used to drink something, eat something, and we used to now whenever these hackathons are going on, parallelly there will be several other events which are going. So we'll be going and checking their projects, what and all are going. So make sure that your mind is completely free. So don't take any stress during hackathon. Another one is make time to visit recruiter and sponsor table and connect with other teams. So I'm connecting with with the previous point only. Now there will be sponsors over in hackathon. So in our hackathons, I think Sting was one of them. So Sting is an energy drink. These sponsors, they give out everything for free. Now Sting, they used to give us a lot of energy drinks. Now you don't. One of the biggest merits of hackathon is are these free stuff. So in GitHub hackathon, we were getting a lot of free stickers, and in ISRO hackathon, they used to give us a lot of free goodies. Now these things you have to make sure that you enjoy all this. Now your all these things will keep you motivated throughout the hackathon. Now don't be a nerd sitting aside and trying to develop. So one of the biggest ethics of a coder is you have to support the community. Now, when we started out coding, we of course we couldn't. We faced a lot of problems. But when we faced these problems, we used to ask for help, and somehow we used to get it done. Now, this asking for help is really a good thing, and also helping others is also a very good thing. Now, in this community of developers, we have this community is built from open source platform. Now, there are a lot of softwares that are open source. Same way, you're in this hackathon. If you are facing any problems, make sure you go to the other team and ask them, how do I do this? And when you're asking for help, make sure you ask the right question. Right question in the sense, now I've seen people asking very general questions. I'll give an example. Suppose you have two algorithms, but both give the same output. You're not sure which algorithm to use. That is when you're going to ask the other team or people who are mentors over there. You ask them what is the difference between two algorithms. Which one should I use? You should not ask them how do I do this algorithm, because how you can do this algorithm, it is given in Google, and they don't have enough time to just explain you all those. So always make sure you ask the right question, not only during hackathons, even outside. When you're asking for help, don't ask them to just give the code to you. Ask them what is the difference between two things. Or even if you're going for Android development, there are a lot of ways you can develop apps. Ask them which one to go, like Android Studio or Flutter or React Native. Do not ask them how to code, because all these things will be really necessary. If you ask the right questions, you'll be getting the right answers. Another one is seventh one is don't try to stay awake through the entire event. Yes, there are 24 hours and it is not a lot. But you have to say that everyone is getting 24 hours, not only you. That is why if you stay awake the entire event, next day during presentation, you won't have that energy. So make sure you get enough sleep. Now our schedule, now how we used to work is that now hackathons will start at around 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, we used to have our idea. So we used to make sure we used to all get all the current affairs, see the current problems, bring out the solutions to them, and see what are the ideas we are going to implement. And the next one is what and all technologies we are going to use. Suppose if we are going for an app development, then we'll make sure what is the technology stack behind the app. That is till 1 o'clock. After 1 o'clock, we used to go for lunch, and 1 to 2 o'clock, we used to have lunch. After lunch, during lunch, we used to discuss same. After lunch, we used to start coding. And one thing to note out there is 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, that is during lunch, we used to split the work. So out of 4, who is doing what? Now in hackathon, it is not only about coding, it is also about designing and getting things done. So designing in the sense, now make sure you have in your team a designer. One guy can tell you how the layout should be. Another guy can design them. And also now you need to have one logo for your team. So in Hackathon, if your app has a default Android icon, then it doesn't look good. Have a name, have an icon. Then after that, from after 2 o'clock, we used to code. And after after getting every feature done, 2 of us out of 4, what most of them I have observed is in our team, 4 of us won't be in the same table. So them will be coding, two will be roaming around. Then again, when two come back, then other two will go and roam around. So what do they do? What do they do when the time they are roaming around? So there are around there will be a lot of people in hackathons, and they will be coming from other different colleges. Now, from other different in the sense, now there will be people coming from IITs. There will be people from coming from NITs. What we have learned from these people is they'll be starting to code from really like from first sem, second sem, they'll be starting algorithms, they'll be doing DS algo, all this they'll be doing from first and second sem. Now, when you learn what they're doing at such a like beginning of their career, you will be knowing that where you stand in the world. I mean, current scenario. Now, if you see this, if you connect with other teams, what happens is now, right now, after participating in a lot of competitions, we have a huge network of developers, which means all of the developers in Udupi, Mangalore, and all these surrounding regions, we have a network, which in case if we develop any apps, we just give it out to them. They'll be giving their reviews, not review feedbacks, and we can just make it all right. So that is why I have a proper network. And then the other one is get to know the vendor and sponsors. Now, suppose the event sponsor is, let's consider it as, take a sponsor called Razorpay. Yeah. We'll consider the event sponsor as Razorpay. Then, if you're, imagine you're going to have a payment gateway in your mobile application. So make sure that you don't use any other payment gateway. Make sure you use only Razorpay. So this is one point which everyone forgets, is that your sponsors are the main judges of the event. So if whatever sponsors you have, make sure you implement their feature in app. And second point is, if you're implementing the feature, make sure you use their own technology. Don't use other technology. Then we have we call this as the $1 billion tip. So $1 billion tip is focus on building the X factor feature. In this, what this X factor feature means that your application at the beginning, you had 10 features. So when you're coming to the end, you need to have an X factor feature. So X factor in an hackathon, the judges will look for an X factor feature. So this X factor feature is something that will stand out in the crowd. Now, for example, now if we have a mobile application, you have to make sure that the mobile application will be known for that particular feature. So if you have this feature and with it around 9 to 10 features, so that is when your application will have a higher chance of winning, because this X factor feature, don't try to plan it in early stages. So what we used to do is we used to code till till 4 o'clock. That is in afternoon 4 o'clock. We used to code. Then we used to take a small break, start again till 9 o'clock. We used to code. Then from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, we used to have our dinner. After 10 o'clock, we'll make sure that whatever we had planned was completed. So what most of the people think is that we have 24 hours, so they'll split the time in those 24 hours. Never do that. So make sure whatever features you have planned, you have to complete it by 10 o'clock. That is your 10 o'clock night, morning 11 o'clock to 10 o'clock. That is within around, I think, 11 hours. Yeah. So within this duration, try to complete all the 9 features. And now when I say all the 9 features, don't take them to the very end. In the sense, don't keep the market ready. If you have a certain feature, make sure that is enough for the demo. And in case you're not able to complete any particular feature within time, keep it as a backlog, start the next feature. Because in hackathon, most of the times judges won't look through each and every feature. They will see that, oh, you have implemented this feature. Okay, what is the next one you have implemented? Okay, you have implemented 9 features. Out of that, one of the feature is really good. That is what they see. Now, if you're focusing on one particular feature and you're staying throughout the event, then the judges will see that you have only one feature. Compared to the previous app, which had 9 features, yours is bad. So even though that feature makes a lot of sense, always have around 8 to 9 small features before going for the X factor. Yes. Now, the X Factor feature, what we used to do is one or two out of the four-man team, one or two used to focus on it. So 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock, we used to code that, and we used to keep that over there. Now, one of the X Factor feature what we had was, I think in 2018, we had a topic called Smart City Mangalore. In that hackathon, what we had done was at night we were looking through all the problems faced. Current affairs. So one of the main problem was women's safety that time. So what we had done was in our application, even if you put it, even if you switch not switch off, even if you turn the screen off, it used to record the audio from the microphone, and whenever someone shouts help 3 times, that is when your current location, that is where you are right now, and the timestamp will be sent to the nearby police station, and also the all your also the emergency contacts. So this was our X Factor feature. Now you see that this feature is not is complicated to do, but as I've told earlier, make sure that your only constraint is time, not the technology. So when we were going to implement this feature, we had knowledge of how to get the location, how to take audio in the background. Then the next one is, yes, software and tools. Now going to hackathon is like going to a battlefield. In this battlefield, you need, no matter how powerful you are, you need to have certain weapons with you. So these were our weapons. Now GitHub is the most necessary one. If you don't use GitHub in hackathon, your whole process will be slowed down. What does this mean is in GitHub, what you can do is, if there are 4 people working on the project, you can have your 4 code bases integrated to one single code base. Now, if you are working on one software, all the codes over there won't be jumbled. Now, when I tell this, it will be really confusing for you guys. Have you guys used GitHub before? Any one of you here? Out of the 83 participants, how many of you have used GitHub? Just drop it in the chat box. 1, 2, okay, 3. Oh, and that's a lot. What have you used GitHub for? Using for websites or, like for what application? Is it for web app, Android app, or iOS? Open source development website. Now, out of you guys, have any of you used GitHub? Like 2 people use the same project. Now you guys all for Unix programming and coding. Okay, nice. Now you have used your GitHub to save your files. I think. Have you made sure that 2 people are working on the same project? Any of you? Now, what I mean is that for one particular application, community coding. Nice. No. Okay. Not tried that. No. Now, the main use of GitHub is that you can have, let me show you my GitHub account. You can understand how it works. And yes, GMS chance here. So here you can say that in this application, this is one of our projects. In this project, these commits are called whenever I push the code. Now, suppose this is an Android application. Here you can see the comment: share link added, follow bug fix, FCM icon added localization, my customer update check. Now, what this means is that at this particular time, 4 days ago, I had uploaded my code to GitHub. Now, what he said, a few days back, even Chetan Pujari, even he had uploaded the code. We are working on the same project, but GitHub makes sure that both the code will be in the same project, and it won't spoil it. There won't be any errors. And in Hackathon, this is very important because all of you will have very small amount of time, and you will need to work together. If you know earlier first few hackathons, what we did was I used to type the code, copy it to notepad. I used to send it to my teammate. He used to copy it from there, post it in his code. That we used to do that, but it used to take a lot of time. That is why GitHub is necessary. You can just push your code and learn this before going to hackathon. Second one is Canva. How many of you have used Canva? I think this Canva is really important, even not only for hackathons, even for your presentations. Okay, Aniket, have you used? Anyone else use Canva? Second one. Yes, logo designing. Vaishak, nice. Vaishak, what do you use it for? Poster designing, yes. Now, those who use Canva know the advantage of it. So here, during the hackathon, you will be given within 24 hours, you will have to get your logo ready. You will have to get your presentation ready. Now, if you use Photoshop or PowerPoint to do your presentation, it will be really slow. That is when Canva comes in. So in Canva, you don't have to do anything. So this is how Canva will look like. You just have to click on. So suppose I do presentation, I click on this, and now you can see I get a lot of pre-selected templates. I can click on any one of the template, and I can simply edit them. Okay, you need to use this application because you, at the end of the day, you will have only 30 minutes or 45 minutes to do your presentation. Now, this presentation is what attracts the crowd the most, but you will have to spend very little time on this. That is when Canva will be really helpful. Now, you need not use only for doing presentation. You can even do logo designing. As Aniket Shane, he does it for logo designing. You can do it for designing your app logo. As I've told earlier, application logo is is a must. So you need to have it. You can use it. You can do it within 15 to 20 minutes. So this is about Canva. Next one is Telegram. Now, why Telegram? Why not WhatsApp? So here, when you're transferring code sending your code or sending something through WhatsApp, it will compress or the format will change. That is why we use Telegram. So in Telegram, I can file transfer. Yeah, correct. In Telegram, what happens is that now if I send from my mobile to his mobile, I can even view that document in laptop at the same time. So if you use your WhatsApp web, the problem is that you need to switch on your mobile to open WhatsApp web. Since Telegram is a cloud-based platform, we need not do that. Where this comes in use is that suppose my friend has designed a PPT, he can make a Telegram group and he can drop the PPT over there. I can open it in my laptop. I can open it in my mobile. It is really convenient for all of us. So you have an application. So Telegram is not the only application. You can have other applications like Slack to do this, but we prefer it as Telegram. Then Framer. So I don't think many of you have used Framer earlier. Now, why Framer is anyone has used Framer here? Oh, nice, Rakshat. Why have you used Framer for web designing or app designing? App prototype, nice. So Framer is used to design app prototype. As I've told earlier, starting initial after your ideas are ready, you need to have all your ideas coming into that mobile application. So you don't directly go to code. Make sure how your ideas are presented in that mobile application. So you can do that using Framer. And in Framer, I'll show you one of the projects. Yes. So this is how Framer looks. You can design your prototype over here. Now, people say, why don't I use Adobe XD or any other compared to why don't I use XD? Why am I using Framer? Now, all the softwares which I've told earlier are very good for quick prototyping or quick getting your jobs done quickly. What does this do is you can simply click on a frame, click on here, you can have your screen ready. insert, or you can do anything. You can have a box over here. All these things, because in an hackathon, you have to focus on quality and also the time consumption. That is when Framer comes into use. So here you can just do you can design and prototype like this, and same thing you can later on start coding like this. Then flat icons is basically you can get all your icons for your application. Suppose you have a dashboard, then you need to have some icons over there. Now don't just go to Google and search for icons. You can go to Flat Icons, that is a website. Let me show you 1 minute, Flat Icons. So this is a website. You can get any kind of location. So if I click on location, I'll be getting all the icons for the location. Suppose you're using Google Maps, click on this and download the PNG or SVG. So this is how it'll work. Now we have been, this flat icons has helped us a lot because it won't even, because in Hackathon, you need to somehow fill the screens also. And icons help us do that. Now this is a black icon. I can get really creative ones over, okay. So all these icons over here, you can see that they look pleasing and you can put them in your application. You can simply download and it is for free. This is open source. If you click on this and you can just download it, make sure you give some credit to the author after your application is done. Even with flat icon, you can also use FreePick, which will give you vector arts. So now these tools and software are probably what made us really good at hackathons. So most of the people might know some of it, and some people know other part of it, but they don't know all of it. Now, when we started coding, we didn't know any of this. We only we used to do it in a very bizarre way, but after going and talking to other people, what they used to do, how they get their job done, this is what we have come across. All these important ones, and it is not that you can either use any of this. You have to use all of this to get your job done quickly. Now, DB diagram. How many of you have I think you guys have SQL right now, do you? DBMS subject? Not second years, third years. You don't? Okay, yeah, you have DBMS, right? Yes. So in DBMS, you can see that you have ER diagram, schema diagram. So all these diagrams you have, right? Now in Hackathon, you have a front end that is developed and a back end that is being developed. Hey, anyone from second year know about SQL, MySQL, or even any kind of backend things? Anyone from second year? Wow, nice. MySQL, good. So what DB diagram does is, I think none of you have gone to lab, right? For third year, how is your lab going on? I mean, did the lab start or is it from December 8th? December 7th or December 8th? Not started. Okay, so in your lab, what sir or ma'am will do is that they'll first draw a diagram of, not diagram of, just a schema diagram of how the backend works. Now, let me show you this, how DB diagram is. So this is a DB diagram. Here, what you do is you simply create tables. These are tables. Here I created as ward ID, ward name. Before going into MySQL, this is a visual representation of how your backend will look like. If you have your user, then user will have sector ID, phone, latitude, longitude, username, host name. So these and all are the attributes of your user. Now, problem with directly going to SQL is that later it is difficult for you to change. So when you have a visual representation of how your backend will look, your whole team will have an idea of how to work. So how to work as a team. Now in Hackathon, you don't have enough time to explain each and everything to everyone in your team. That is why you need to have certain things like this, and I can share this part. So at any moment, any developer can view this in his laptop and he can see, oh, this is how the backend will look like. So this is a DB diagram. Then Bittrex. this software, actually, we have never used this in Hackathon because we didn't know of this before. We came across this part recently. But what we realized is this software would have helped us a lot if it was in Hackathon. Because what we were facing is more than what and all features we had discussed, we used to note it down in paper. But at the time, at midnight, around 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, we used to forget what are the minor features which we required. So here, this is Bittrex. So Bittrex, how does it work is we have one dashboard right now. In this dashboard, this is our team dashboard. There is something called Kanban. Does anyone know what Kanban is? Anyone has watched Office or Silicon Valley? I think those who watch these type of episodes know what this Kanban is. Anyone has watched, yeah, Silicon Valley. Anyone has watched here? No. Okay. So task for different people. Yes, correct. So this is what Kanban is. Now see, now I can add a task. Suppose I want my teammate Ullas to do login page. I just type here login page, and I can just type hashtag login just to make him know that. Enter, and I can assign it to Ullas. Now in his laptop, he can say that a new task has been assigned to him. And here, at the end of the day, now this is just one task. In Hackathon, you'll have around 50 to 100 tasks back to back. If you note it in a paper, it is tough to see that how your team is doing their work. Within this, you can have a lot of tasks over here. Login page, then I can have login button is not working and slash login. And this is a UI part, I can assign it to Saurabh. Now, what happens is when they start the work, they can click it, they can just drag it over here in progress. What does this do is it will make the whole team aware that someone is working on this. It's not because at the end of 24 hours, you don't want an bug which you had known earlier still remaining when you're giving it for demo. You want it to be fixed. So that is when you know that, say now after finishing, he can just drag it to the right side. I know that it is fixed. And at the end of the day, I can just check if there are anything in my left side. I can tell one of my teammates to start working on it. So you can just start working, which is he'll drop it in progress, then he'll go right. Now all these softwares, you're not going to get anywhere in internet in one particular place. You'll be needing to do a lot of research for this. And even though after a lot of research, you won't be getting it in one particular place. Now Kanban is very important for hackathons. What we used to do is we used to write it in a paper. So now after for free. Now there are a lot of the softwares like Trello, but most of them are paid. But Bittrex 24 is one such software which is giving out this for free. You can use this. And this part can not only be used in hackathons, but also in your mini projects. So that is for Bittrex. The next two part is Rapid API and Google Cloud Console. Anyone has used Rapid API over here? RapidAPI.com. Anyone has gone there? So now what Rapid API is that it will give you free endpoints. Endpoints in the sense one link. Using that link, you can get some particular data. Let me show you how does it work. Rapid API. Now, so you can see there are a lot of things, and the documents are really easy. Suppose you need to know that I need count of coronavirus. I mean, okay. So let me just here. Okay. So what does this do is they will be giving you an endpoint in all this COVID-19 data. Now, if you want an application which will show all the COVID-19 statistics, what you can do is click on this. So when you click on this, they'll be giving you an endpoint. Here you can see that popularity, all this success rate. This will give you an endpoint, that is a request. About get request, you will be learning when you start development. But this request, when you copy and paste it in your application and send a request over there, in return, you will be getting an, wait a minute. Mm, Yes. In return, you will be getting an output where you will be having everyone's all the data all across the world. You'll be getting the COVID data. This is for COVID-19 API. Same way, if you need to display the weather information in your application, you can use you can use these APIs. Then coming for Postman. Postman, I think it can be, Postman is used for the same API. You need to, it is just your backend engineer telling you that you will be requiring these things. I mean, you will be having these endpoints. Now, HTML color codes, Unsplash, pixels, all these are for your UI designs. You can get all the UI design inspirations for your application in Dribble, Pinterest, and Newsly. Unsplash and pixels will give you all the photos. So if you need any photos for application, don't go to Google and get it. Go to Unsplash and pixels. You'll get the particular photo for your application. Same with HTML color codes. Now, the main part of the UI is a color combination. If you need your one good color combination, you can go to this website, that is HTML color codes, and you can get the UI. I mean, you can get the colors for your UI. Server. So what I've seen is people always, I mean, whenever people come to Hackathon, they buy their own server and they come there. What this means is if you have your own server, it is like a advantage for you. So always try to buy a server. Now, what does this mean is go to any hosting site, buy the cheapest one. So when we were in second year, we bought a server from Hostinger and it costed around 3,000 for 4 years. So paying 3,000 for 4 years and that too for a server gave us a lot of benefits. So always have a server with you. Now server name, I think you can go with Hostinger. 1 minute. Yeah. So this is the server. You can buy your server from here, and that too right now there is a lot of offers. Buy now, and even though you don't know coding, just buy this. It'll be really helpful when you start learning coding. So here you'll have a lot of offers, that is 59 rupees per month, and even it'll go cheaper also sometimes. So buy one server, have a server ready for you. Then, yep. Now before that, yeah. Now coming to the major part of the hackathon, that is a presentation. Presentation part now, what people do is they have a separate presenter who doesn't know coding. But even though he doesn't know the coding, make sure that he know what's going on in the whole system. So this presenter must know A to Z of the whole project. Now the presenter might know, like he might not be well versed with English or something like that. It is not a problem. At the end of the day, you need to know what your application is, what you have built. Now it is not that your your friend knows everything, but you're presenting. Now what happens over here is you won't be able to connect with the judges. Now, presentation, how this works is initially what we thought was we were the students and there are judges. We had to tell them how our application works. This is the real scenario. But before going into the stage, this is one trick which I have learned. Make sure that you are not the biggest person in that room is not the judge, it is yourself. So why I'm telling this is, consider yourself as a billion-dollar company CEO. Go up to the stage, stand there, and the presentation behind you is talking about a product which is going to be a multi-billion-dollar. So now, if you see the presentations given by some CEOs such as Steve Jobs, you see that the biggest man in the room is himself, the Steve Jobs, not the crowd. That is what you are going to focus over here. You have to make sure that your product is going to be really good, and it is a $1 million product, and you are a part of a company which is multi-billion-dollar. Now, if you consider this attitude will what makes the judges have that particular trust in you. So this attitude is very necessary for the presenter. So here are a few things to keep in mind in the presentation. So when you're designing a presentation, what we'll be doing is our hackathon will mostly end at around 9:30 in the morning. So half an hour before or 1 hour before, we used to start designing our presentation. So in our presentation, this is always how our presentation look like. First screen will be the logo and introduce your team. Introduce your team in the sense your team logo, your all your members in the team. That's it. Then your group number. Yeah, you will be given a group number in your hackathon. So give that group number over there. Then don't add anything in your first slide. Keep it as minimal as possible. Second slide, the problem statement. Problem statement is not the problem statement they had given. The problem statement is a list of problems you had listed down during the initial idea phase. So when earlier we had listed down around 6 problem statements. So in this problem statement, you have to give it in points. You have to tell them. 1 minute. I'll just show you all the problem statement one by one. Yes. Here, you can see that you should list down all these problems and do not type anything in big sentences. Keep it in points. Keep it as short as possible, because people over there, judges also, they won't be really interested in long sentences. Keep it as short. Write it here. Parking spots. And when the presenter explains, you have to tell that this is the problem that is faced by citizens of Udupi. They are finding problems while parking their cars, which is why people park in illegal places. This will cause a lot of traffic. So this is one point you can go for. Same way you can go with all the points. And now for presentation, most of the time they give you around 10 minutes or even less, sometimes 5 minutes. So how does this work is, if you're given 10 minutes, then 10, not 10%, 30% of it is for question and answers. So out of 10 minutes, 7 minutes is for your explanation, 3 minutes is for question and answers. And next one is solution. Third slide, keep a solution for it. Now, if there is a parking problem, what is the solution that you have given it for? Go for it. Make sure that this flow is always there. Starting your team logo, your team description. Coming next is the problems. Third one is the solution for the problem. Here in the solution, again, don't write the whole sentence. Put a point, like in bullet points, write down. Then the presenter will explain what is the solution that you have given from your end. Here in the solution, you need not have one, like slide number 3, only one slide. You can have multiple slides over here. Third one is business model and market. In one of the hackathons, we got second place because we didn't have business model with us. So business model is something that people are not prepared when they're going for presentation. That is why always have a business model and market. What does this mean is, suppose you're developing your product and you're releasing it in market. Now you need to sustain over there. You don't need to simply release it and go back. You need to run for around 5 to 10 years. So this means that how are you going to earn money using your application? So in our smart city application, what we can tell that we'll tell them that we'll be using advertisements. Advertisement in the sense local stores can give their advertisement in our application. And market. Market means that what is the age group you're focusing on? When you give them this data, they know that you're serious about this project. And also tell them your future plans with this particular project. Because what judges of hackathons see that they don't always see the project. I mean, they don't always see the features. They even see if you're going to implement it or not. That is the main thing. So always give them a trust that you're going to do something in future using that particular project. Fifth one, demo. So this is where you have to act smart. In demo, in case if your features are not up to the mark or if your app is crashing, do not give the mobile phone to the judges. Show it in your hand. You use any particular presenter to just plug it in your laptop and show the demo. In case if you're 100% sure that the application is running smoothly, give it in judge's hand. So what is this does is, in case if you give it in judge's hand, they will be having one more level of trust over there. So they know that you have done something which is good enough for so that you are giving it directly for them to test it out. Now this demo part, make sure that all your like your mobile application may not be enough for market ready application. So what I mean by this is your application might only be now when developing mobile application, there are a lot of factors to be focused on. So if you're giving demo, suppose you are building a feature X, then you have to make sure that that particular feature is need not be market ready, but it is enough for demo. You can show that this data is going from here, and person is getting the data over here. You can show this in mobile application. One and next, coming to do's and don'ts while presenting. First one, pick one presenter and only one presenter. I have seen people around all their team doing chance by chance and presenting. But make sure that, see, now you have only 7 minutes. Out of that 7 minutes, if you switch between your teammate, you're going to lose that precious minutes. And also, people are going to get distracted. You don't want that to happen. Always have one presenter, and that particular presenter knows full everything about the application. Next one, don't overload your presentation with text. As I've mentioned earlier, do not do this mistake because you will be sleepy and the crowd will be sleepy because they have been here without having good enough amount of sleep. And judges, most of the time, they'll be with you throughout the hackathon. They won't just go to home and sleep. They'll be with you. So even they won't be that active. That is why keep it short and keep it attractive. Keep your branding on every slide. When I say that now, if you see, if we have a team logo, we just when presenting, put it in every slide, each and every slide, and take a note of time limit. Yes, if you have a 7 minutes time limit, what we used is now we took more time for questions. So suppose if we have 7 minutes time limit, we used to always reduce our presentation to 5 to 6 minutes and have questions for 4 to 5 minutes. What this does is when we interact with the judges, since you have a lot of time, you have more time to convince them. Like interaction will give you more space to convince them. So this is one of our tricks. And get the demo as fast as possible. Now this demo part, sometimes people take around 5 minutes for demo. Don't do this. Quickly go through the features and do not explain the technical side of it. Now, wait, let me get a volunteer out of this. Anyone willing to speak for 20 seconds, not more than 20 seconds? Okay, 30 seconds. Anyone? I'll give you a topic. The topic is really simple. Pick a product of your own. Let it be a smartphone or your favorite smartphone or your favorite laptop or even your favorite car or bike, and speak about it for 30 seconds. Only 30 seconds is enough. Anyone? I need a volunteer right now. I've been speaking from past 1 hour. Someone speak for 30 seconds. That will be really good. So using this, I can tell you what to do and what not to do. Anyone? Just 30 seconds, not more than 30 seconds. Speak about your favorite product. See, now you need to talk something because in hackathon, if you sit quiet like this, then it'll be really difficult. If just any product you want, pick any product like a mobile phone, you pick your favorite mobile phone and talk about its feature. Okay, no one. Then we'll see. Now, what I wanted to tell you is if you try to explain any product, now you're not going to get any technical side of it. Suppose I'm explaining my smartphone, I'll tell that my smartphone has 64 MP camera. I'll tell that it has 855 Snapdragon, but I'm not going to tell them how it's going to work. Or even with a car, I'll tell them 25 mileage I get in my car. Now I'm not going to tell them how I am going to get 25 mileage. So 25 kilometer per liter mileage. This is what you go. You have to tell them the feature. You have to not tell them how we are going to get the feature. That comes in your question and answer. If your judges are interested, they'll ask questions regarding how are you going to get this feature implemented. So until that question arises, don't talk about the technical side, because technical side will bore a lot of them. You have only 5 to 7 minutes, and you have to convince everyone. Third one is don't spend ages. The next one is don't spend ages trying to fix mistakes. Another problem is now while giving demo, app will crash for sure. Even our app has crashed a lot of times because you can't get a really good app within one day. So don't get so in case if it crashes, don't try fixing the bug. Apologize to the judges, tell them I'm sorry for this, and continue with your next feature, because the time limit is really important, and make sure that you simply distract them from the crash. So how you do this depends on your presentation skills. And highlight your most unique features. Suppose you have out of 5 minutes, you have around 3 minutes for your features. So highlight your spend half of it for your most unique feature. That is the X factor feature. And whenever judges ask you any question, don't spend around 1 or 2 minutes thinking about it. You have to answer the moment they stop asking the question. So all these tricks, what we have is it will give them positive response. You will get a positive response from judges. First one is the most important one is the attitude, because when you have this attitude when you're going to the stage, that is when you will have an upper hand. So judges will think that this man knows something about what he's talking about. Then next part is our experience. So 1 minute. Our experience. Now in our panel we have Hari Krishna. So Hari Krishna has participated in Smart India Hackathon. So in his hackathon experience, it was I think the hackathon was for 3 days. Hari Krishna, are you there? Hello?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah.
So Hari Krishna, now the reason we have to tell them what our experience was in hackathon. Since most of them don't know how it works in an hackathon, I have told what are the basic foundations while going to the hackathon, but they don't know what are the real time experience over there. So it's better you give them certain inputs that you have collected from your hackathon experience.
Yes. The first time that many of us have gone to hackathon is because of the Deepak itself. He pitched us that we'll go to hackathon. It will be a new experience. We will learn new things. So we did not know. We did not like start building apps or anything at first. We just attended one hackathon by Deepak for learning Android Studio, and then only using that as a basic, we went to hackathon. First, I think we went to Mangalore, 24-hour hackathon in Sayadri. There, we went with a team of 4, with each having one part to complete. So at the end of the hackathon, we did not really match our expectations because we were stuck in errors and bugs. It was the first time. We did not know that errors and bugs are going to be there while we code. So, but at the end, all 4 of us completed specific small tasks that we were supposed to do. So at the end, we shared our experiences, and all of us got something to begin with. From there, we went to different hackathons where we used the previous knowledge and then began to do more and more stuff. So at the end, we got a chance to participate in Smart India Hackathon this year, and then it was a 3-day hackathon where we developed two complete platforms to provide a solution to a problem. So, what my experience is, if we did not go to the hackathon, we would not be developing actual apps now and getting internships and doing applications for other companies. So, only if you go to a hackathon in the beginning, you will understand these things, and it will really like get you a boost into. It will give you an experience where you need to do more stuff from that. That is all.
Yes, so one of the major points that we have to keep in mind, what Hari Krishna told, was that it is a starting point. Now, most of us think that hackathon is a competition, some sort of competition. I completely disagree with it. I see hackathon is a place where people of similar mindset, people who want to make sure that they stand out of the community, so that those type of people come together. Now, till now, whomever I have met in hackathon, all of them are really humble. So if you ask them anything, they'll give you the right solution for it. They'll show you the right road to move on. Now, when we actually, I am from electronics background, so I've studied electronics in my first and second PU. I really didn't like coding that much compared to all this electronics. So first few months of my engineering life, I had spent in electronics coding. Sorry, electronics. That is Arduino, Raspberry Pi, and my aim was to get into robotics field. But at the same time, I had some eagerness on how this mobile apps work. But at that particular point of time, I didn't have anyone to contact. So what we did was we simply went inside the hackathon, and we couldn't um develop a proper application. But what we got to know is that what other people are using. So in case that is where we started our journey from. So in case you're thinking that I don't have enough knowledge about hackathon, what am I going to do? So just go and participate. You won't believe, but in our first presentation, the judges had insulted us so badly. That is, they had told us to. So our application had crashed. So after not even forget crashing. So in the place where the input should be given, instead of number pad, we used to have a keyboard with letters. So they didn't really like this. And they had a really negative feedback. So your first hackathon will be like this. You won't have a good feedback from the judges, but don't feel low after this, because know that this is where you start from. Everyone has started from this point. Now, when I started, I didn't know ABC of coding. So after that, I researched a lot, and my coding experience, where I learned my application development, is from Udemy. So that is where I had got my foundation. So there I had learned Android Studio. And afterwards, after that, I at some point of time, you will have to search for documentation. That is through YouTube or their official documentation in their Android Studio site. Now, another main important what Hari Krishna told was the networking. Now, internships. So many of our classmates did internships by paying the company. That is around 3,000 to 4,000 rupees they had to pay to the company to do the internship. At the same time, we were getting paid around 5 times the money. So this was only because of hackathons. Now the judges in the hackathons, they had taken our number, and when in the like, I think they were during this April, they had called us. So they were like, we have an application, we have a requirement for an application, mobile application. Are you ready to develop? We told okay, and that is when we started working for one particular company. Now, right now, what we have developed, one of the biggest project is that we had worked with a company who is a direct competitor with Kindle. So I have you heard of? I think most of you have heard of Amazon Kindle. So what the other company was working is that their name is Moji Books. They are still under development process. So we are developing their mobile application and their website. So with the application where the users will be around millions of users, so we are getting an opportunity to work with them. So this is all because of the network we made during hackathons. So in hackathons, there will be a lot of CEOs coming from all the companies. They'll be looking for young talents. And young talents, that too, people who are in second or third year, they'll be looking for them. And whenever they find the perfect one, they find the right moment and they call you for any particular applications that has to be developed. And another important is that now in hackathons, uh, there is a separate cash prize, always a separate cash prize for one team filled with the girls. So now, if there is first, second, third prize, there will be the best girl coder team. Always, 90% of the hackathons this will be there. And what I have noticed is, it is just my observation. So the number of teams with only girls is really less. Suppose there are around 50 to 60 teams. The number of teams with only girls will be around 2 to 3. So out of 2 to 3, it is easy to win. Now, if you are planning, then what I suggest is that just go to this hackathons. You'll get a lot of experience. Now, what I want you guys. So most of the time we have kept it for Q&A session. So if you have any question, not only regarding hackathons, about application development, where to start with, or any questions like this, you can drop down in the chat and I'll be explaining it. I'll be answering those.
Hello.
Yes, yes.
Also, Deepak, since people here are interested in hackathons, can we talk about little bit about code troopers here?
Yeah. You can start. I'll continue later.
Yeah. So I think we people of SMVITM who are interested in hackathons and stuff, we already have a platform that is the student club of SMVITM. Last year, we pitched this idea to the college and they approved to make a club. So there is a Code Troopers club. If any of you guys are already not part of that, I think you can join that club. And then any like queries or any suggestions regarding these type of things, regarding hackathons or anything, or developing apps or any workshops that you need to learn different platforms or anything, I think we can discuss about that in the using that club as a platform. So I will be leaving a Telegram link over here. I think if you join that link, we can discuss more on the requirements in the chat. Thank you.
One more random question I have from my side. How many of you use Telegram over here? How many of you have Telegram application installed in your phone? There are so many people using Telegram right now. Okay. So now, just a question. Now, in case if our all the groups from our college shift to Telegram, is it fine with you guys? Because the reason why I'm telling this is, suppose you have a document and there are a lot of features which you might not know regarding Telegram. Now in WhatsApp, it's been such that your personal and your professional, that is your student life, is being merged. So now using Telegram, what we can do is we can have a lot of we can use a lot of various stuff. Now, in case you are interested in Python programming, you can create your own AI bot in Telegram. So it's an open source application. Now, in case you're since many of you use out of 79, I think around 40 or I think more than 40 use Telegram in this chat. So we'll see through this later on. But now, in another question I wanted to ask now here, is everyone here interested in software development, or how is it now? You are interested in web development or Android development? How? I wanted to know, like, because the reason why I'm taking these services because um, we have been participating in competitions from 3 years, and now it has come a point where we'll be leaving this behind. So within a couple of months, we'll be stopping all this. But I don't want this knowledge to be dropped on, which means that I want this knowledge to be put forth to my juniors so anyone interested can continue. So you need not be part of our team. Like if you're interested to make your own team, then sure, go ahead. Only intention is we need to have a bigger developer community over here. Now, when compared to IIT and NITs, so what our college lacks is a good student group. So if you have a good student group community, that is when each and everyone's skill automatically increases. So in chats, I've seen full stack web development and Android development, interested in software and coding and AI and ML. Okay, so and as I've told you earlier, we are looking for people who are interested in this. Now, interested in the sense you will be working with us directly on real life projects, real time projects. So whenever we get projects from the clients, we'll be taking you in our team, and you can see how it will work. So how we are working, how actually it will work in industry level. So what and all tools we are using, how the project lifecycle works, all this you will be a part of us. But before that, you need to get your basics right. So basics of development in the sense you need to learn how some basic stuff of Android development. That is, we'll be giving you the course. Don't worry, you can finish it within 5 to 10 days. And once you're done with that, you can join us. So here, coding and Android development, Android development, Android development. Okay. Yeah. So now, do you get attendance? Like, do you get any activity point for joining this, or you have joined this for your own interest, with your own interest? How does this work? Because we didn't have activity points, and I'm not sure about this. Anyone from third year? I mean, anyone from second year? Personal reasons for our own interest. Okay, that is very good. Because what we have searched the whole college once. We are trying hard to look for people who are interested in development. So now, from your side, what is the thing that you want from us? Because we are not sure how to start this. Now we are doing this for the first time, like actually teaching others and recruiting others. What are your expectations from our side? What do you want? Like I know you want Android development, but what do you want from a guidance? Okay, yes, lead. Now you can just unmute and talk also, not a problem.
Deepak, I wanted to make an announcement right now.
Yes.
I'd like to inform all the participants who are watching this session in YouTube to drop your names in the chat as for attendance. Uh, that's all. Deepak, you can continue.
Yes, thank you. Now, okay, since now we had done several trials earlier to get more developers, but from our side only, it was a failure, which I agree because we couldn't train you guys good. So we want to know where did we go wrong. So now, if you want some, now if we give you one particular course, that is course which you can finish within 10 days, and after that, if you join us, now we wanted to see if you guys can do it. So this course will be really basic. Even if you don't know coding, you can finish the course and you can learn. And so Android development, you cannot learn within 10 days, but you can learn the basic out of it. So I've seen people telling that they know this coding, but so are you guys okay with that if I give you a course and you have around 10 to 15 days to complete it? And after 10 to 15 days, you can join us developing the projects. Yep. Okay. So I think this is it. And like if you have any questions, you can drop it right now. First hackathon. So one of the greatest hacks is do not expect anything. So your hackathons first hackathons is everyone's first hackathon experience, but you gotta make sure that you don't feel demotivated. Whenever you entry, what we use, the one of the biggest trick or tip what I can give you is before going to the hackathon, make sure you keep one mindset that you're going to give your 110% for the hackathon, no matter what the result is, if you win or not. But that 24 hours, you have to give your full best. So even if you win, not a problem. Even if you lose, not a problem. But at the end of the day, you should not think that oh shit, I had this 1 hour free. I could have done this. So that should not happen. One of the actually what I felt was that not of Android Studio. Okay, so in Android Studio, if you're learning Android Studio, I have a really good course which we learned, and it is not outdated. It is up to date. That course I'll be sharing it with you guys. And 1 minute. Since majority of you are from second and third year, you what you can do is you can give your names to your CR or anyone your classmates who has my contact. They'll be giving your for contact numbers, and we'll create a group. So once we create a group, we'll discuss on how we can improve. I mean, how we can grow. So now, for example, tools and technologies, and also Android Studio courses. If you have any doubts, you can ask us. So we can have a group where you guys can communicate with us. Then anything else? Yeah, regarding the first question only, first hackathon will be where you will have to try to seek knowledge, not develop something. You have 24 hours. Make sure you develop a small application, not even no like enough to impress judges, but make sure you talk with each and every team, see what they're doing. So that is what your aim for the first hackathon should be. No, no. So right now, our only aim was for this to participate in hackathon in IIT, but because of this Corona, we couldn't do it. So we had a roadmap for our 3 year course. So second year, third year, we had completed those, but fourth year we had kept it for competitions in IITs and IITs. But that was our hmm, aim. Anything else? And one more thing, since you were talking about networking side, so networking side is itself a big domain. So anyone interested in servers, Yajnesh, you asked about OSCP. Are you interested in networking side? Networking in the sense server side, server admin. Because right now we ourselves developers are handling our servers. Yes. Okay. Mm. So things like this. So development does not mean that you are a software, you are a front-end developer, back-end developer. There are a lot of other things that come in. That is UI designer, logo, then also a system administrator. So any other questions? Okay. So I think this is it. So if you have any question, or if you are really interested to start hacking Android development, we'll be working we'll be working for another 2 to 3 months. So it's better you join us right now and learn something, because after January and February we'll be stopping this. So after that we won't be able to help you that much. That is why we had already put out a poster telling that we are recruiting. But if you're interested to get to know how the real world works over there, how the applications work, you can just drop a message. And in case if you don't have my number, you can get it from your class CR or your classmate, anyone who has my number. Yes. So I hope all Any other questions? Oh, okay. Hare Krishna, you have to. Do you have anything to say?
No. It was a very good session by you, man. That is all. We also learned a lot of stuff. It was really good.
Yes, thank you. So, to be on, like, before you end the session, we have a lot of things under us. We have a lot of things to tell, but since you're around 76, we cannot disclose all of it because a few of the things we have been signed under NDA, which is non-disclosure agreement. So we cannot give it directly to you guys. If you're interested, then surely you'll learn a lot of things, and we don't want all this knowledge to go in waste. So whenever you come to fourth year, you will be having twice as knowledge of what we have if you start working with us right now. Yes, that's it. Shruta, I think you can end the session right now.
Okay. Thank you, Deepak, for your wonderful talk. And I also like to thank Hari Krishna for sharing his experience. Now it's time for the vote of thanks, and I request Avanti from second year CSE to take over.
I would like to thank our Principal Sir, Dr. Thirumaleshwar Bhatt, and Vice Principal Sir, Dr. Ganesh Aitar, and all the HODs and faculty members of respective departments for supporting us conduct the event successfully. I would also like to thank Extra Infinity team for such informative and wonderful session. I am sure that we all have learned everything we need to know about Hackathon. I would also like to thank Chetan Sir, IST Faculty Coordinator. I would also like to thank Mr. Ganesh Hatwar from 5th SMB section, Computer Science Department, for helping the team to make the flyer. I would like to thank our participants for their patient listening, and I hope you all have learned very valuable lessons from this session. Last but not least, I would like to thank ISTE for helping us organize this event successfully. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Avanti. So the link for the feedback has been posted in the chat box. I request everyone who have attended the session to fill that out. E-certificate will be provided to the students based on the feedback and attendance by the end of coming week. Also, the ones who are watching the session through YouTube, I request those to type their name in the chat. Okay, so that's all.
You can do it for switch on the mic now.
Oh.
No. Then turn off. There, in settings. No, you can log out.
I
No.
don't know.
You can log out. Yeah. Then you can stop streaming.
Start. Not start.
Automatic, no one is there in the middle of sending. You don't need to push. Yeah, but
Just
check everything. It's taking.